support. It is not boring, boring. National Commission for Democracy. National so we the support. Positive participation in governance. National Commission for Democracy. National so we the support. It is not boring, boring.
National Commission for Democracy, the organization waiting up for itself. This commission then began in 1994 for put salon before good government and democracy. The National Commission for Democracy, they promote heart and development. They promote democracy. They do it by civic education. We go help you for know your rights as salon person and waiting to be around you. Advocacy and research. They work with local and international organization. The National Commission for Democracy. In mission now to tell people them about peace. We want a man right them. And now we live a society where we all equal. We say all man gets power for enjoy the man rights. And they will go about doing business with one word. We go push the country before this.
Na National Commission for Democracy. Na salon so we the support. Positive participation.
Commission waiting not for himself. He's strong. He gives himself to work with other people there so that they go get education for the people and they go able to build themselves up as salon people so that they will push transparency, accountability, responsibility and all the other institutions them for go before. This go make civil society get strength and they go grow and meet with other people there so that we Sierra Leoneans we go able to touch with your Lord as people of one country. Yeah, Ncd National Commission for Democracy.
Na National Commission for Democracy. Na salon so we the support. Positive participation in governance. Na National Commission for Democracy. Na salon so we the support. It is not boring, boring. Na National Commission for Democracy. Na salon so we the support. Positive participation in governance. Na National Commission for Democracy. Na salon so we the support. It is not boring, boring. Na National Commission for Democracy. Na salon so we the support. Positive participation in governance. Na National Commission for Democracy. Na salon so we the support. It is not boring, boring. Na National Commission for Democracy. Na salon so we the support. Positive participation in governance. Na National Commission for Democracy. Na salon so we the support.
National Commission for Democracy, the organization waiting up for itself. This commission then began in 1994 for put salon before good government and democracy. The National Commission for Democracy, they promote heart and development. They promote democracy. They do it by civic education. We go help you for the right as salon person.
You're watching the SLBC on Channel 31, the authentic voice of Sierra Leone.
National Commission for Democracy, the organization waiting up for itself.
Family, good afternoon and welcome again to yet another edition of the Ncd Hour Good Governance Program, where they come to you courtesy of the National Commission for Democracy. Today they look at or talk about the relationship between government and CSO, or we look at the role of civil society in the governance process of the state. Recently, His Excellency the President, within team or cabinet, initiate a dialogue with civil society organizations, which them meet and then start for talk about how government and civil society for work together so that they are able for push we contribute before. But before we start with discussion proper, make I just give you a brief update on what in the commission done recently. The commission, they do a mini survey on the relationship between parliamentarians and their constituents, and today then with the Makini, who side then go interview stakeholders and other people in our society for get their views, and at the end of the day the commission go use this survey for put out a policy brief where we're able to inform government and other institutions or relevant institutions about this very important thing where the relationship between parliamentarians and the people who they represent the parliament. We also do a face-to-face with democracy across the country in all the regions. We staff them, they go now various schools, various communities, at our bases, the JETUs, they talk to people about the need for make them go behave as true citizens and see how much they serve, or encourage them on how much they serve will contribute to the democratic process of the state. Okay, well now they come to the program proper, but before we start the discussions, make I ask as usual my panelists to make them give me them pick of the week. I'll start with Reverend, but before I don't know because of the time I just rush up and maybe introduce people, maybe it's it. Or make I start for introduce the panel. I get to in the studio the public relations director and the public relations and communications director of the National Commission for Democracy, when Reverend Jibrila Kagbo. Reverend, say hello to Fambulem.
Fambulem Audu.
Also with me in the studio I get the programs manager na the campaign for good governance, Mr. Kendema. Mr. Kendema, say hello to Fambulem.
Fambulem.
Okay, and also with me an activist, a barrister and solicitor, Shari Israel Williams. Say hello to Fambulem, sir.
Fambu, Kabo.
Okay, so now we start with discussions proper. I will ask Reverend first of all to make you pick for the week. Reverend, what's my pick for this week, sir?
Well, me want to draw attention to Fambulem say the writing process for the Universal Periodic Review ongoing, where the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, International Cooperation, and they lead the process. But already you get a consultant on the ground, when a Ghanaian, and the lecture international public law at the University of London, and he deal with they work with different institutions where Ncd self now part of the few institutions when they put together for really write the third circle of the Universal Periodic Review. From would they ask, within this Universal Periodic Review, that are things where nations of the world can do within a period of like 3 years, so when they report to the Human Rights Commission of the UN at Geneva, and Salon get for presenting human rights report inside February 2021. So the process for put all of that document together, it don't start, and we don't successfully submit inside around July this year, the midterm, what they call midterm review, now they precede a particular circle publication, and them don't claim, them don't agree say Salon don't do well in that particular area there, but now we for actually submit the third circle report will go happen inside February, and that kind work they don't start, and we wish for draw the attention of the public, and especially MDAs them we get for submit update for make the report come and find one. Say the team they come out by next week for visit different MDAs, and they know themselves say okay then get for contribute to the in terms of the materials way for be compiled as the third circle of the Sierra Leone Universal Periodic Review, where they show say we did in terms of human rights issues. So make Fambula know that, and make the MDAs then prepare for the team will go start for come around by next week.
Okay, thank you very much, Reverend. I believe say the one that we get something for do with this, they listen, the one that now MDAs them, they listen and understand say even civil society organizations say get their own role for playing that. Ask Mr. Kendema for making that game pick.
Well, for me, the recognition of government, recognizing the role of civil society organizations, and knowing very well say civil society organizations are partners in development.
Okay.
And I should say this now the post Bintumani for Bintumani the engagement they continue so, and I only hope that not just the highest authority but other institutions are well able for know that and know say there is a need for many people for work with civil society, because it's only when they work with civil society then they will achieve the collective goals that they don't set for themselves.
Okay, thank you very much. I think to begin for dwell into that more as we start with discussions, Papa. Barrister, what's your pick for this week, sir?
Yes, in as much as we talk about the free education program the government they roll out, we talk about we topic today. Come for realize that there is a new institution where they call Teach for Salon.
Okay.
I listen, I follow the news this week, and able for learn say this institution don't recruit teachers them. We get experience and qualify for let them go help for teach and then deprived communities in Sierra Leone.
Okay.
Then place the way teacher they know they then place the way the only qualified teacher we will see around waiting and call you untrained, unqualified. I mean, we still get that now with vocabulary in education in this country. So that kind of initiative we not they come out from government at all, but they come out from other sector of society. It's not something where we for welcome, something for praise, and something for support.
Okay.
I actually not get all of the detail concerning that initiative or the organization that is pushing it, but based on what I listen and follow the news, then they're saying that the best teachers then they recruit. They look for quality, they look for experience. And I think say with subsequent discussion 2 weeks ago, we talk about the grammar school type of education, and also we look at technical vocational. We emphasize this point, say education get a lot to do with the way they deliver. And Teach for Salon look like say they don't see that aspect they and they want for push up. So yes, it's something we have to talk about and encourage and see how they can able for take them across Sierra Leone. Yes, so that's my pick for this week.
And thank you very much. I think so that's really very important. Like you say, most times deprived communities or communities that are remote areas,
Yes.
far to reach areas, they really can get challenges to get qualified teachers because everybody just focus for the Nadi center.
Yes.
But that is really good. Okay, thank you very much. And now when we come to the discussions, first of all, Reverend, we really try to look at the role of civil society in the governance of the states. But family they listen first of all wants for really we talk about civil society. What's exactly mean?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. From the word, what's the word they even use for describe the, I would say, institution, civil society. Now there are set of people where they're not per se into the say strictly the what would they describe as the governors of the state, but then ordinary people where they serve as some kind of interface between the people and generally and the one that within our government. So that group of people there that they could usually call civil society, and they're so significant that when you try for assess democracy, you can't assess the success of democracy without the involvement of them group of people, and they don't kind of group themselves into what you might call pressure groups. For ensure say then they advance certain concerns. They don't as they don't evolve, they don't become specialized in various things and way relate to governance. You will see one group of people go say, well, we talk about health. One go kind and say we do education. Other one go kind and say we na governance with a focus on. Most of the time, that group they talk about, so they can use advocacy as the method for reach out, for make sure say what them concerns, especially government able for area, and what most of the time they can do that for keep government on their toes, make them accountable to the needs of the people. And when you take section 11 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, even though it talk about mass media, but the role where the Constitution give the mass media, and that same kind of role they most of the time civil society they play now the country for make sure say then keep government on their toes and make them accountable, and for make what you call participatory engagement in assessing the democracy will make it be effective. We need for see them people and they what they call civil society organization in that effective participatory role for call to order the governance for ensure say the governed are taken care of. Now the various spectrum of activities that we're involved in. So for talk about civil society, make a tap here so first.
Okay. Thank you very much. From what you say is like you try for everything. Civil society now like people and we like they try for like remind government say that this you supposed for do. You know, like if you want to go off track then they can say no, come on track. So you get a lot where they deal with different things. Everybody they focus on that and make sure say and guide governments. So make a come to Mr. Kendema. You now a civil society activist and you've been into that for quite a long time. Promoting Reverend they say una role now for like see how much you know for guide governments for make them go on track, make them go derail. But really what's really at the relationship between civil society and government, not alone?
So make I just add some clarity on, because most time people get a different view when they talk about civil society. Civil society, they cannot refer to them as non-state actors.
Okay.
When they say non-state actors, this is not a body where not a government form. This is not a body where individuals inform for make them perform voluntary role. And most of the voluntary roles them within the perform now based on interest. So you go further for say civil society organizations, they all each of them get their own interest. Interest in the sense is that voting they form them for, voting are the objective, voting are the niche, voting then they come for can do as such. So that makes you say you get civil society organizations where clearly they work on education. So you go further for say all the interventions that within they do around education. The one that way they work on human rights, you go further for say all the intervention on human rights. And normally we think inform these now then strategic plan. The strategic plan can show the direction, the intervention, what exactly then they do, and what can inform this normally can be the vision. What can inform this can normally be the mission. we think inform these can normally be the values we think then stand for as such. So the basic interpretation of organized civil society.
Okay.
So civil society now being a body formed not by government, they get three broad rules them within the play in any side they find themselves. The first rule is that they complement the work of government. You know, say like salon so big that government alone not able to manage the entire country, or not able to solve the entire problem. So you get a body we know part of government when they refer to as civil society. So what they come is that they can complement. Then you go find out for CS, when you go in the communities, you get civil society organizations and we work on livelihood. Because government not able to provide livelihood to them community them. You get one the way they do the hardware and software projects them. All this what they do is that now for make we forget a developed community, because the government overall intention dandy. You understand? So they complement the work of government. Then the second role where civil society they play get for do with they serve as intermediary. Now the middleman between government and the people. You find out for say most time the community people them for many they get access to the government directly, especially the policy makers and the duty bearers, it can be so challenging. So the possible way they serve as a middleman between them na civil society. They make it for say most time when something happened, you give the community people they call civil society. They civil society because civil society they speak on their behalf. And what's that they views them, they communicate their views them directly to government. And at times the thing government you want to do, you go find out for CS. The civil society they take down the back to the community people. That's the second role. The third role where civil society they play is that now the watchdog role. And when we talk about the watchdog, like the watchman, you know, say governance now a very broad something, and the expectation is that government them for able to adhere to some of the manifestos. You know, say before you come to power, they present very good ideas. When you vote me in, this is what I'm going to do in terms of the social, economic, the political, and governance. That's what I get for do as such. So what is civil society they do? We the monitor some of them development team them and ensure that government able for do one. Then you know, say yes, government can normally sign treaties. You know, so we ensure monitor government and ensure that some of them treaties them will sign. If we see that they deviate from them, would they draw the attention of government that hey no. Some of them think that we do if you say you know right now so and so and so and so if we do. So they play that watch the dog role they at least for Mokwebu or put government in tools. Okay. With reference to this particular discussion what we get now is that you know say governance has something very very broad. So what is civil society they do? One, if participation like a key element of government. Okay. Civil society they try to see how best this will be able to ensure participation for making it happen. And we'll talk about participation. You know the SDG they talk about leaving no one behind. For see how best at least everybody could be involved as such in terms of be you disabled, be you youth, and women as well. And some of them think they are we they do their advocacy them here. Taking into consideration, like most, for example, you look at the TRC report where you talk about the 30% quota for women. You go see the campaign for good governance and other institutions over the years. Don't they push for that? Because that's a recommendation with government for do. So what they do is that constantly with such of the informed government when they do advocacy. You look at election. I mean, if I see you get some civil society organizations, then they're your niche, like new. Then basically they look at electoral processes because we see when we get a free, fair and periodic election, then we adhere to that principle of good governance. Okay. Then you look at accountability and other things and your institutions. So there is a whole lot of work where civil society they do. I will come and explain better for a better understanding.
Yes, I'm promoting you see and what's in Reverend just to say. You just try for compliment each others. I mean, contribution. That civil society within the civil society family, you get people who get interest in various things, and then they look at I mean, within the government, we don't promise say they do. Where maybe people can vote them in and see how much they follow up on that. Barrister, make up you come in. You can also maybe give your input on what you see as civil society. But again, you not feel say civil society and government can almost they get problem, because in fact some people can even see civil society as an opposition.
Yes, it's a very interesting aspect of the discussion. I see my brother in presentation really talk about the role of civil society. Government not can get problem with the complementing aspect at all. Government not can get the problem with civil society being intermediaries. You know, for example, I remember quite recently where government they say they don't get white paper on commission of inquiry. How then they go meet church and mosque them for tell us, well, now this news we get to help we pass them through to the people. They not get problem with that. Most of the time, government get problem when civil society take the watchdog role.
Okay.
Now they the tussle, now they the problem.
Because now you want to put them on their tools.
Yes, and in all of these, in terms of the role, we get the advocacy part, you get the activism part, of course the intervention, but the activism, usai you challenge government on policies and tell us, say this thing where you want to do or this thing where you don't do it wrong, and where you call for accountability, then and the government knocking like civil society business. So that is why then you look at civil society as an opposition or something like that. But I want to go back to what you say just now. According to the UN, they say civil society now the third sector of society. So if you divide society into three, civil society is the third. The first is government itself, where we will refer to as the public sector.
Okay.
The second is the private sector. Normally when we talk about private sector, within the private sector we get the one there where they do business, sell education, sell electricity, sell this, sell that for profit. Within that same bracket you get the one that's we engaged in business where we can say it's not for profit per se, okay, but the social profit syndicate. Now the last sector, which is the third, which is civil society, it says it's an aggregate of non-governmental organizations. Aggregate of non-governmental organizations. But again, Cicero, when a Greek philosopher, he give you one good definition of civil society. Say, now a society of citizens.
Okay. So civil society is a
society of citizens. But for me, what's more important in this discussion, as we talk about civil society, we try to define them. Now, let me give some examples of what civil society be or what it mean. Because I find out, say, even in this country, some people are part of civil society, some organizations are part of civil society, but whether they know or not, I wonder. Religious groups, religious faith-based organizations are part of civil society.
Okay.
I've been follow quite recently where the Catholics in America put out a position paper on Biden.
Okay.
And say we as religious people, we as a religious organization, this is what we think about this man in stance and in policy.
Okay.
So the religious faith-based organization are part of this civil society, this society of citizens when we talk about. We also get non-governmental organizations like we brought out the CGG, you know, so many of them. We not all government institutions then, but then they help society and then they push, do advocacy and all. We get unions and collective bargaining groups like you go here about consumer protection agency, don't think them they, okay, bike riders. Their organizations, the way they do bargaining, so that people come together and say, "No, we seek we interest, no protect we." You know, we get grassroots organizations inside communities. People form themselves and say, "We they push forward this purpose." So, forgive better specific examples, like student organizations. Then student union like NUS, for example, Sierra Leone Bar Association, their institutions that we come together for push the interest of certain people in society. Remember, is a society of citizens. So different citizens with different interests outside of government, they come together and form what you call civil society.
So the media.
Fine. The media is part. The media is part of civil society, because the final say the media is not government owned. The media is completely out of government. Okay. And because the media now part of civil society, now that make the final say the media, they play the role where we don't define so.
The watchdog role.
The watchdog role.
Okay.
The watchdog for like government accountable for like we what I mentioned manifesto. We mentioned manifesto. Okay. It say we for government say now this should be say now so but we tell like say you know they go this way or something don't happen now. So that role the media they play. And then it's how for end the last part. I just want for quote waiting well by the news waiting just like before I come to the studio, the possibility of win their making election. It already gets beyond 270 electoral college votes. That could only change now by the Supreme Court of America, but it don't pass the threshold. I want for quote Joe Biden. Joe Biden say, no fundamental social change occurs merely because of government acts. He says it's because of civil society that the conscience of a country begins to rise up. Because of civil society, the conscience of a country begins to rise up. And what happens? There is demand, and demand for change. So when all of these roles are put together, then we will begin to see collectively now how the society they develop. Okay.
So key from among all what you say, that civil society even help for raise people and consciousness about issues. Like just mentioned, see the program where they watch. Now Ncd Hour where they come to them courtesy of the National Commission for Democracy. Users will get the opportunity for contribute to the program by sending text message to the lines same way they see the scroll on the screen. And you can send your contributions and you read them out. Make I come back to Reverend. But Reverend, I still look at the relationship between government and the civil society. But I want for quoting the president been saying about the meet recently. The president said, I'm tasking my government to infuse more candor and transparency in government business through regular interaction with civil society as representatives of the interest of our citizens. I want to have a frank dialogue about what is working and what is not working.
That is very, very interesting coming from the president. The acknowledgement of the important role of civil society for put government on their toes. Now you don't kind of put in that succinct statement there. And I like the aspect of the aspect of frankness that we talk about what's in the work and what's in the work. I think that we want to see the governance landscape of a country where Sierra Leoneans to each other we talk frankly, we are honest with each other. In other words, we put all the cards on the table. Why is this not working? Why is this working and what can we do? What lessons can we learn from others? Civil society can always come in for tell government say it can work this way, not go work this way, and can put government on their toes. So for me, the initiative of the president for come face to face with civil society, that is the way to go if we for push this country forward. Because not forget, say one thing for underline, civil society, they are actually interest groups. Then get things they're really interested in, whether they focus on for ensure say the government do on behalf of the people. So if government get a situation where then get a forum, we regularly meet with civil society, government will be reminded as to they don't get lapses. And when such a reminder happened, government came for brace up. So we elect what the president say.
Okay.
And I think we for kudos to president, because not to all man came on for me and ask him questions. Not to all man came on for be accountable. But inside governance, now a must. As our Creoman say, power, we supposed to be accountable. So now the government is say, but based on what the president is say, the one they will get for the ask me question, una for be part of my team. Una for come on board. Not for cover me weakness. Because me say they can't tell una say this one, don't try you unable. How una cable help. So you want for make the one them when are they what, because like our barrister say one thing. We don't identify all the roles where civil society they play. But one day, when I'm critical at times, government not kill up for a that watchdog side. But now government they say, we are not afraid now. We are all Sierra Leoneans. Let's come together. Now we'll do together. Now go for see what's in the work, what's in the work, the more now for fix them. So together, government and CSOs can able for handle the issues of the country. I want to bring one insight into this discussion. If you take a look at with brochure, the National Commission for Democracy, one aspect they say they set we up forget the outlook of a non-state actor. So at times when people can hear NCD, we are critical and can just say, NCD our opposition. No, we are not opposition. We are merely playing the role that we're set up to play, because they will set we up for make we critically look at with democracy and say, is it working? Is it not working? What can we do? And that is what we've been doing. I make people can misunderstand me. So I can bring that insight into this discussion. Okay. We say get an outlook of non-state actors who can say, hey, our government, yes, we said a government institution, but we have been say for tell if challenge them also, we make the democracy they work. And we do them constantly. In fact, like how you announced earlier on, you say a team don't go out, we do a survey. We will not do one. We focus attention on political tolerance. The team don't go out and they feel again for look at how the members of parliament they fear with the constituent. And so they bring out what in the public they say, the aim of ensure say it is corrected. And when government work that kind of way with the civil society, I tell you, we go know the problem and we go find the answers, because civil society not for just the watchdog aspect no more. Remember, don't talk about the other thing. Then they come for complement government and work. You get the one them way, mostly of advocacy, but also get the one them way, then they actually calm down with intervention in terms of basics. If now education, then go provide the amenities in the community. If now water supply, they get them. So not so just the one that way they talk, say, this not happen. You get the one that way they come with their own support, funding, couple, then get them from different source and come and do something where they make things happen fine in the country. So if government make a decision, say these are vital partners. Now one way than they for make salon before, and it has happened in other countries who say that face-to-face interaction on a regular basis they happen. So like I mentioned something, you say we get the private and public sector. Now most government will succeed, they bring in that third sector, the civil society, say una cancer. Yes, we must say at times something una can say be very irritating, but it better make you tell me the truth than you can lie for me. Then when we failure can be woeful. But if I don't begin from the onset, Kenneman and they keep me on me to say, hey, they already done so, not so. By the time we it happen 1-2 weeks, 1 month, going to 1 year, we don't try for correct before the 5 years go round up. So, Mr. Moderator, that kind of interaction there is very, very important, and the president, me go say, is spot on. That is the way to go for make we country move away from the things that we don't challenge we over the years. Okay,
thank you very much, Reverend, for that comprehensive analysis. In fact, somebody from Moyamba, one Cabinet Moses, Benga, they even say another role in civil society for servers for that oversight role we have faced some time ago under the watchdog role. instead of just sending a message on that. Reverend, you really don't hit the point, but maybe I come to Mr. Kendema. Let me look at the challenge, because this are the area this will get the problem most times. Even the president may acknowledge that. He talks, he say we need a paradigm shift. You know, the way how people they look at civil society and the way how government they see them and let's say they see governments, they feel like it will look complex. In fact, one thing he says the truth is the relationship is complex and dynamic, and more importantly, can be a catalyst to promote good governance. That is this dialogue we try to talk about. He said it will be a catalyst for. So really, what you feel say are the challenges, and how you feel say we be able to overcome the challenges there? Because no matter how you look at them, they don't work together.
Yes. Just one measure say like any government we want succeed, get for work with civil society.
Okay.
That's not just an established fact. You go further for CS. Most in countries and most time where they see civil society as a threat, they fail at the end of the day. There is no way you succeed. You as a government, if you know work with civil society.
Okay.
That's not one. The second point is that you know the sea you face, except through reflection. And civil society, they serve as the mirror.
Okay.
For show you face, whether you get enough oil in your face, whether you don't get enough oil in your face, whether you need for rub grease, whether you don't need for rub grease. There is no way you see yourself as self-reflection. So civil society, they play that role.
Okay.
But the problem when normally can be is that most governments can want to make civil society be sycophantic. In the sense is that for praising, even when government they go wrong. And for we, the campaign for good governance, that day we don't stand against.
Okay.
Simply because we get your mandate. The proponents of the pro-democracy in this country, when they form CGG, they form for perform a specific. They make we don't get any interest in any government. We interest now for ensure make good governance prevail.
Okay.
But nothing the challenge where it can be. You see, most time people can misunderstand transparency and accountability.
Okay.
And what we can good at most time is that the transparency aspect. Wherein, okay, I don't get this. I don't get 3 billion. I don't get 4 billion. When you ask for the accountability aspect, that money where you say you don't get, how you use them, that's where the conflict they come. Simply because issues of suspicion they come in. Either government they feel say you not trust them, either government they feel say you not get the authority for such of even question them. Remember to talk about the watchdog role, when a very critical role. So most time government and civil society can they work very well. But when civil society want play that watchdog role, especially when government want go excess, you will notice say civil society they say no. Because not only civil society get a gut for look at government and tell government say this the way they do is wrong. Because most time is that most people them with government can appoint then they fear. For look at the government and tell the government saying this thing way they do is wrong. Then they fear mostly because of the position.
You know one lost job.
And no one lost job. And no one day in the good book of the bad book of the president or the government as such. But for me, they take this opportunity for say to government that among your cabinet, among the one them way you appoint, the one way they look into your eyes and tell you for CS, Mr. President or government, this thing what they do is wrong. That's your best servant.
So somebody will
the worst
genuine view.
Yes, the worst. Now the way they flatter you, where quite knows even Machiavelli talker. He said beware of flatterers. He said because flatterers, the best they can do is that they can't tell you what you want for your by the time you didn't realize yes, now the wrong thing that they do, it's too late. You don't lose confidence in the electorate. So we civil society organization, what we they do is that, and most of them how they inform government now through research beyond the advocacy.
Okay.
And how would they do the research is that government not get to go through the research, so we go right round. When we go right round, we get information, we present them.
Okay.
Now make it further for say every research civil society organization they do, and they follow with recommendation. The responsibility of government now is that now for take that recommendation and improve on them. More say for instance, like how Ncd want do this parliamentary exercise, so they will come out with a very good policy brief where they get recommendation. If people act on that recommendation, the challenges they want to identify will be addressed. So the next focus now will be for look at other issues.
Exactly.
So listening government, where they listen to civil society on some of them things they already come up with. If you address them, it help for improve your administration. Because if you say corruption is a society, and civil society don't raise that day up, you work on that day for ensure that these institutions that what they measure, you address corruption day, the next time it not gonna happen there again.
Okay.
So now they give you informed information, and that informed information that they give you now for make you work on them. So civil society, the work they already do all now in the interest of the state, and now in the interest of government for make them succeed.
Okay.
But until governments them understand that for no say the work of civil society that for make you succeed, you as the incumbent, until they understand that the challenge between civil society and government go be a bit fragile. Okay. They make you notice eventually when they want to shrink the space of civil society, we will raise alarm. That no. You can open the space for make civil society work, not shrink the space of civil society.
Okay.
If you say you close civil society, there is no way.
Okay, thank you very much.
Because you can't succeed without civil society.
Yes, I'm not saying you will get you get a lot of things we want to explain because now you feel and you know exactly what's going to happen. But for that analysis, Charlie, we don't get enough time really. Now that make you finally say I try for the cut Mr. Kenema short because I don't say really want for continue with the analysis and the analysis really in place. But like from what he say, I just want to make yourself give you view on that. You know the government no go able to see himself and able for thoroughly do an introspection and assess himself because you know like it just want for like continue for what they do, want for them in comfort zone, that kind of stuff. But civil society when they out there they watch and see say governments no this is the way they do so I'm not putting the right thing I will go this way. And most times the issues can come out, they create up with the watchdog role. You know feel say like for make them work together, they not get issue. Now when both government and civil society will see each other as one way they try for compliments, even if they do watchdog role safe. But I think I'm saying this, let accept them in good faith and see how they for address them. You know, if you say that will really help for make for really cement this relationship. The president try for bridge.
Well, this call for work together, I want to understand it properly. Because if we don't understand them properly, that can even be the point of conflict also.
Okay.
When I say work together, it don't mean say civil society for try for please government to for let government gladly and let them feel fine. No. The work together now for make civil society continue for do their work. Government no muzzle the space like way my brother they say, and also government, whether they want for listen or not, it's up to them. For listening to it in civil society, they say, yeah, now that will mean by work together. But not for say work together and for let team fine, we laugh and smile all the time. Yeah, quite recently we hearing about this issue of accountability for corona funds. Government say, oh, wait for the state of emergency come out.
Okay.
And civil society, they say, no. The state of emergency not nothing for do with audit. We can audit as we they go on. So now the kind of situation they how they talk about. And I just want to go back to and quote Marcella Samba, where they lead CGG. Quite recently, we've been getting a situation where it is say where governments don't create problem. That is when people begin to say, where's civil society? Who's civil society there? As if civil society is now responsible for some of the things that the government they do are not correct. Now, a flip part of that side is this. Now, the fact say people expect the civil society for play the role. That is why people they call. It don't mean say really people they call civil society government create problem. Not like say that society they creates the problem. But now for let civil society play that role. Not to that situation where you go say, but don't tell what they talk, you do so now. You have to continue. And for me, the extreme, when civil society now realize say government not they listen, government is not careful, is not busy, then we come to this theory where say you they wake up the consciousness of the people. You they, in fact, one role of civil society now for mobilize public opinion. You they raise the awareness, you they jog the consciousness to an extent that people they push and push and push, and there will be a change. Because the truth is, civil society is a society of citizens. We are the custodian. If you go to the constitution, it says power, sovereignty belongs to the people. And so the people that they lead, the one holding our government, the one they call the first sector, they are there to serve. And when they not serve them purpose, when they don't live up to the expectation, we have to mobilize opinion and push them out. That is the role. And the aspect of not come together, in order to say we for stop that rule there at all. No. We they come together, but if government not seem for listen or do what if for do, we they push until there is a change. That is what it is. Okay. We go push and there will be a change. The last thing I want to talk about, now the fact say this opposition thing we can come, we can say, oh, civil society don't turn opposition or now this now that. If you shy away from that backlash, if you shy away from that attack, if you shy away from denting then it means the essence of civil society don't die.
Okay.
I'll see everyone can say.
Yeah, I'm not say time only again.
Yes.
But just a quick analogy for make we will see civil society will make people can always call on civil society. And for me, this thing about working together. It also appropriate in this analogy. A football match, two teams they play. One now the government, the other one are the people. But there is always somebody in the middle, the referee, and a civil society. If one team they play foul, the referee refuse for blow the whistle, things will continue to go bad. So we still want for civil society becoming that impartial referee for ensure say the game come on fine. And this game now for Salon better one. So we for stop all forms of compromise. We for ensure say we know what team we all want for this country, whichever team you play for, whether you did this team or this other team, or whether you did at the middle for referee, we for know what team we want, and we for remember say there are rules for make the game come on well. And if you are a trained and qualified referee, you did between two sets of people, you go and sure say you referee the match well. At the end of the day, we one side win. It will still be victory for everybody. Okay. Because the middleman no give undue advantage to one person and say because now this one we left from we for blow the whistle, we for blow the whistle. The whistle for always the mouth of the civil society people for ensure say government not play foul, the people say not play foul. At the end of the day, the game come on fine and we all celebrate for Salon.
Okay, thank you very much. But I mean, just one minute. Which advice we go give? What are the recommendations we go make?
So for me, like a very good initiative where the government come with for such of work with civil society organization. So the only recommendation we will give with government is that this engagement get to be constant,
Okay.
so that at least we dey get am periodic, wherein we dey sort of reflect on the state in affairs, because Socrates make it very clear, and oxygen life is not worth living. We as a state, if we know the examine we self, there is no need for me to exist. So I think we need this for me to cross examine we self and make government understand CS in as much as we dey collaborate, but civil society in an independent body. And the reason why civil society they exist, now for complement government, now for serve as intermediary between government and the people, at the same time for playing the watch role. And when civil society they play the watch role, now in the interest of the government, may them understand and may they respect the civil society space.
Okay, so may governments that look at them, accept them in good faith, then they look at them say, what is our supposition?
No.
Yes, barrister, what's that recommendation?
Yes, I think say one other recommendation we may get. Now the fact say even the very civil society space can be manipulated. That space. And so my advice that you will no say you have to take back seat for now na civil society. Take them honorably than you did it, and you know they serve the purpose.
It's true.
Okay, so you they tell me say when you be a civil society, you get to be honest and
Yes.
do your work
Yes.
honestly to serve the people.
Yes. If you're not able, nothing not bad for take the back seat.
Okay. Or you
But-
go into another thing.
Yes, but not did it, and then you know they serve the purpose. It's dangerous.
Okay, thank you. Finally, Reverend, what's your recommendation? Now, end it.
For me, it's about getting the parameters straight. Make we know, because now a marriage of convenience. We don't know how they go into it. What you want to achieve. In other words, we clear cut goals so that nobody no go overstep in bounds. At the end of the day, it will be a win-win situation for Sierra Leone.
Okay, thank you very much. Family program we've been listening to. Now, Ncd Hour, we come to you courtesy of the National Commission for Democracy. Today we're going to talk about the role of civil society in the governance of the state, and we also try for look at the relationship between government and civil society organizations. With me at the studio, I've been guest the Public Relations and Communications Director at the National Commission for Democracy, Reverend Jibril. With me also, I've been guest the Programs Manager in a Campaign for Good Governance, Mr. Sir Kendema. And I also been an activist. We also a lawyer and a barrister and solicitor, Charlie Israel Williams. Thank you very much for coming and Fambul. Now, so we end the program today, even as we encourage you to make yourself go be a good citizen and make sure say you play your own role as a citizen for make sure say we country go before. Thank you very much. Until we meet again, God bless you.